everyone, I'm the Babywearing Math Teacher, and today we're going to talk about how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide decimals. Now we're just going to use the standard algorithm for this. Nothing new, nothing exciting, it's just very basic, back to basics math. So what I'm going to go over is how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And I'm going to do the actual computation fairly quickly just because if you're watching this video, I'm hoping that you already can add, subtract, multiply, and divide. What we're really going over are just the rules with decimals. Alright, so when I'm adding and subtracting, I want to line up my decimals and use zeros as placeholders. So here I've got 42 and 300ths and 138 and 6/10. So I want to line up the decimals and then just copy down my number. And wherever the numbers fall is fine. Anywhere there's a blank, I want to use a 0 as a placeholder. So then when I add this up, I'm going to carry my 1 here. I'm going to get 180 and 63/100ths. Okay, over here again, subtraction and addition, we're going to line up our decimals and use zeros as placeholders. So wherever my decimal is, I'm going to put that underneath and then fill in my numbers. And here I'm subtracting, so I'm going to borrow. And I'm going to get 31 and 28/100ths. Okay, so now we're multiplying and dividing. When we multiply and divide, we do not need to line up our decimals. We just, for multiplication, do a right alignment. So if you think of a computer and you select right align, it just moves everything over to the right. So I'm going to actually kind of rewrite this. So I want the 6.87 times 14 and 3/10. All right, so I can get rid of that. And then I'm just going to use my standard method of multiplying the furthest, this place value by the top and annexing zeros. So I'm going to get, all right, 8 times 3, 6, annex the 0. Annex 2 zeros, and when I add them all up, alright, sorry, got a little distracted there. Alright, the last thing I want to do is make sure I put my decimal in the correct spot. So I'm going to look up here and I'm going to count how many numbers come after my decimal. So I have 1, 2, and 3. Which means down here I bring it in 1, 2, 3 places. So I end up with 98 and 241 thousandths. Alright, last thing with division. With division, the only thing to remember is that you can't have a decimal out here. Okay, so we want to move it over however many places it takes to make this a whole number. So in this case, I only have to move it once. But however many times I move it out here, I also move it in here. So I move it over once. So now essentially I'm dividing 345 by 23, which is going to give me, oops, that's a 5, 15. Okay, and there is no remainder when I multiply that out. So my answer here would be a whole 15. So again, that's how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide decimals using your standard algorithm. I'm the Babywearing Math Teacher because math is so good.